everyone, and welcome to English Passage Podcast, where we improve English through meaningful conversations. If you are learning English and you want to speak confidently in real-life situations, this podcast is for you.
Hello everyone, I'm Arav, and today we're talking about something extremely practical, something that almost everyone experiences when traveling or meeting friends. We're talking about ordering food at a restaurant in English.
Yes, and believe me, this is one of the most common situations where English learners suddenly feel nervous. You walk into a restaurant confidently, you sit down, everything feels fine, and then the waiter arrives and asks, "What would you like to order?"
And in that moment, your brain suddenly stops working. You know the words, you studied English, you practice speaking, but suddenly your mind says, error, system not responding.
Yes, that happens to so many people. But the truth is, restaurant conversations in English are actually very simple and predictable. Arav, why do you think restaurant English is such a useful skill for learners?
Because restaurants create real conversations. When you order food, you're not memorizing grammar rules or reading a textbook. You're actually communicating with another person. And interestingly, restaurant conversations usually follow a clear pattern. First, someone welcomes you. Then they ask about drinks. Then they ask if you're ready to order. Once you understand this pattern, everything becomes easier.
That's very true. When learners understand the structure of the conversation, their confidence increases immediately. Let's imagine a situation together. Arav, suppose we walk into a restaurant this evening because we're hungry after recording this podcast.
Honestly, that sounds like a fantastic idea already.
As soon as we enter, the host at the entrance might say something like, "Welcome, how many people?"
And the answer is very simple. We can say, "Table for two, please." That short sentence is used in restaurants all around the world.
Yes, and after that, the host usually shows us to our table and gives us the menu.
After we sit down, the waiter usually arrives within a few minutes.
And the first question is almost, "Can I get you something to drink?" Exactly. Drinks usually come before food. You could respond very naturally by saying, "I'll have water, please." Or, if you want something different, you might say, "I'd like a lemonade."
And notice something interesting here. In English, people often use polite phrases when ordering food.
Such as?
Phrases like, "I'd like," "Can I get?" or "May I have?" These small expressions make your English sound polite and natural.
Yes, and politeness is very important in restaurant conversations. Now comes the moment when many people feel confused, choosing the actual food from the menu.
Especially when the menu has 20 different dishes and every single one sounds delicious. Suddenly you want everything.
That happens to me every time. Arav, what should someone say if they need more time to decide?
That's very easy. You can say, "Can I have a few more minutes?" Or simply say, "I'm still deciding."
Both sentences sound very natural and polite. Sometimes customers want to know more about a dish before ordering.
Yes, and one of the best questions is, "What do you recommend?"
Waiters usually like that question because they can suggest their favorite dish.
Another useful question could be, "Is this spicy?"
Or, "Does this contain nuts?"
That question is extremely important for people who have food allergies.
Once you decide what you want, the waiter returns to your table.
And the waiter usually asks, "Are you ready to order?"
Then you can respond by saying something like, "I'll have the grilled chicken."
Or you could say, "I'd like the pasta."
And if you're really hungry,
You might say, "I'll have the burger, the fries, and the soup." Finally, the best moment arrives. The food comes to the table.
the waiter might say, "Enjoy your meal."
Or simply say, "Here's your order."
A natural response is simply, "Thank you."
Or you might say, "Thank you, it looks great."
That's exactly how native speakers respond. After finishing the meal, the final step is paying the bill.
And many learners wonder what sentence they should use here.
One of the most common sentences is, "Can we get the bill, please?"
In American English, people often say check instead of bill. So you might hear someone say, "Could I have the check?"
Both expressions are correct. Now let's test your English listening.
Imagine the waiter asks you this question: "Are you ready to order?"
What is a polite answer?
A great answer would be, "I'd like the pasta, please."
Perfect. Ordering food at a restaurant may look like a very small conversation in everyday life, but when you think about it carefully, it is actually a powerful opportunity to practice real English communication. You listen, you respond, you ask questions, and sometimes you even make small talk. All of these moments help you become more comfortable speaking English in real situations.
That's absolutely true. When people practice English only through textbooks, they often learn vocabulary and grammar, but they don't always learn how conversations actually flow in daily life. But in a restaurant, the conversation feels natural. Someone asks a question, you respond, and the discussion continues smoothly.
And the beautiful thing is that restaurant conversations follow a very simple structure, which makes them perfect for English learners. First, you greet the host. Then you order drinks. After that, you choose your food. And finally, you ask for the bill. When you understand this pattern, you don't need to panic anymore.
Exactly. Instead of worrying about making mistakes, learners should think of these moments as practice opportunities. Every time you order food in English, even if it's just one or two sentences, you are improving your confidence.
So let's ask our listeners something interesting. Imagine this situation for a moment. You walk into a beautiful restaurant after a long day. The atmosphere is warm, the smell of delicious food fills the air, and the waiter walks toward your table and asks politely, "What would you like to order?" What would you say?
Maybe you would say something simple like, "I'd like the grilled chicken, please." Or perhaps you would choose pasta, pizza, or your favorite local dish.
Personally, if I'm really hungry, I might order 2 dishes instead of 1.
That sounds like a very honest answer.
Yes, sometimes hunger makes our decisions very quickly.
Now we would love to hear from you, our listeners. Imagine you are sitting in a restaurant right now and the waiter is waiting for your order.
Tell us in the comments, what food would you order in English? Try writing your answer using a polite sentence like, "I'd like," or "I'll have."
This is a simple exercise, but it helps you practice real English.
And if you enjoyed this conversation and want to improve your listening skills through natural discussions like this, don't forget to subscribe to English Passage Podcast.
We create conversations designed to help you understand English naturally, step by step, through real-life topics. Keep learning, keep listening, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep enjoying the learning journey. Because every small conversation you practice today will help you speak more confidently tomorrow.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
And we'll see you again in the next episode of English Passage Podcast.